usted, mi gente? We are back.
Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome to our second episode in Hablando Plepla. And you have here in your living room or in your car or at work, to dos primas, Mooch and Bree. Hola, hola.
Woo woo! How's it going, Bree?
Everything's great. Just enjoying my day off, here at home, doing nothing, being a bed potato. There you go.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
I
So if
love it.
you survive Mother's Day without getting hit with a chancleta or passive aggression in a Tupperware, felicidades, you are officially stronger than me. Officially stronger than me. So am
Oh,
I
yes.
wrong into thinking that Dominican moms got PhDs in suspicion, bro? Like they see a bouquet of flower and ask if you're hiding a pregnancy. Am I wrong?
Let me tell you, me being a Dominican mom myself, when let me tell you this quick story. So for Dominican Mother's Day, sorry, for Mother's Day, sorry, Dominican Mother's Day is coming up. For Mother's Day, my son and his friend decided to surprise me with a breakfast, but
Mm.
with my ingredients. I
Oh,
was like,
oh,
I
there's
was
always
like-
a catch.
so I was just wondering, so is that really a gift or is that not a gift? But you know what? I was gonna, I decided to take it with grace and say, you know what, thank you. I got breakfast. And mind you, I work on the weekend, so I got breakfast in bed while I was working from home, so that was a nice surprise, you know.
But I think that's like a kid thing because my kids do that. Like they'll say, "Mom, oh my God, let's cook steak and mashed potatoes and whatever." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that sounds
Hmm.
great." And they're like, "Yeah, but can you get the stuff? Can you get the stuff and can you cook it? Because God forbid they cook
Uh-huh.
it." So that's I think
Got
that's
it.
like a kids thing too. Yeah, but like for me, being also, being also Dominican also, I also find like I have a PhD in suspicion, right? Like I
Hmm.
complain so much that my husband doesn't give me flowers or he doesn't give me this or it doesn't give me that. And then on the off chance that he does, I'm like, what'd you do?
Is it brownie points, bro?
Yes, like what's going on here? And then it's like he's like, yo, pero contigo no hay quien gane. So we
Mm-mm.
do have PhDs in
Oh
suspicion.
yes, oh yes, we do. And then it made me wonder because his little friend at work, they're little friend. Uh, I asked him, so she don't got food at home,
Ah,
so she wants
for
to
real.
come here and cook breakfast.
Mm. That could be it too. That could
Oh,
be it
is it
too.
for Mother's Day? Okay.
Does it count, right? Does it
Does
count?
it count
For
with my
real.
ingredients? Okay, better ingredients, Papa John. I guess. I guess.
Yes. Okay, so let's get this rolling.
Hmm.
Last week we honored Las Madres, and this week we are talking family group chats. Y porque there's always
Hmm.
that one tia who sends blurry prayers with glitter font at 5 a.m. Yeah, you know what? I'm not
Hmm.
even going to touch that. I'm not even going to touch that. We're not going to touch that. But we also have later on a new segment entitled Teteo con Pampers, which you cannot miss because that's like our inner baby, right? Like a segment of our inner
Hmm.
baby self.
Our inner
Yeah.
child, our inner
Yeah.
baby. Yes.
Exactly. But we are going to talk about family group chats because we have a family group chat that's intense, right, Brie?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We we have our aunties, our uncles, my dad.
Hmm.
We have
Cousins.
cousins
Yeah.
galore.
And cousins,
Uh,
cousins, cousins.
yes. And it's funny because in our family we have cousins that are same age as our aunts because I guess our grandmother and our aunts were pregnant at the
Oh,
same time,
oh,
so that,
oh
we
man.
got a lot
We
going.
got
We got a lot
telenovela.
going.
Yes. We even have those aunts and uncles who loads the chat up with videos. We have those aunts and uncle who say hi and then disappear for like
Hmm.
days, weeks, months.
Yeah.
We have those aunt and uncle who start shit in the chat and then makes a quiet exit, leaving everyone to fend for themselves. And then once it manages to die down, they come back on to spice it up. They get, y'all forgot what just happened a few minutes ago. And you're like, oh, hell.
I
Right?
was just joking.
Yeah. No, no. They just keep, right, exactly. And then we have those that leave the chat but return immediately after learning shit's going down in the chat. You
Oh
know
yeah.
exactly who you are. Damn well, you know who
Hmm.
you are. That's why you laughing right about now as you hear this. I
Damn,
know.
are they really talking about me or are they talking about me?
For
You
real.
know? And
Yep.
then we have those that are trying to be the mediator, like, hey, let's be the peacemaker, the voice of reasoning,
Yes.
whatever, when things do get heated.
Yes.
But
They have gotten
when
heated.
the uncles and the aunties are in their arguments, the cousins, we just sit back and grab the popcorn like, "Oh, this got
Yes.
good. This shit got real good."
Well, I have to
No
say, yeah,
way. They
it's
throwing that
gotten
in each other's
crazy.
face.
It's
Oh,
gotten
yeah.
crazy. It's gotten crazy
Mhm.
to the point where sometimes I don't even know what's going on. Like, I'm not even in it, and I'll get texts from cousins and be like, "Yo, shit's about to go down," and I'm like, "Oh my god, can you tell me? Like, I don't even wanna go in there. Just tell me what's going on," and they'll have to break it down for me so that I
Like
can go
this
in
one
easy.
story. I gotta
Yeah.
share this one story. Oh my God. I guess this is when one of the uncles, I mean, everybody, listen, everybody got a history,
Mhm.
and then, like no one's a saint. But I guess with this uncle specifically, were two tias that were talking about the grandfather person started attacking the uncle.
No.
Why are you bringing this up? Like he was on his
Oh
feet.
my god, I forgot about that.
And she was trying to it was a poor attempt at a joke. It was more like throwing it in his face.
Child, I think I threw up that day. I was like, "Oh!" But the crazy thing is, then it dies down, and we're like, "Oh god, finally." And then that person comes back, and he did it
And one
again.
more thing.
Yes, yes,
My favorite part is the typing, how it starts one day
yes,
and it
and it doesn't
doesn't
finish.
finishes that same person typing until the following morning. I
Yes,
mean, we go get married, have kids,
yes,
their kids go to college, and then
yes,
she's still typing. you
yes.
know,
Oh my god, and you're like, "Yo, let it out," and then at the same time, you're like, "Don't let it out, don't let
don't
it
let
out."
it out. Don't let it
Yes,
out. And then it's nothing. Have a wonderful day, folks.
yes,
And you're like, what?
in the name
All
of
that for
Jesus.
that?
Yes. But it's crazy because after all that
Yeah.
chaos, all of a sudden, like, a couple days later, it's back to, like, square like, nothing happened, like, everybody's like, "Hey, yo, you guys wanna go out for coffee and stuff?"
Hmm.
And you're like, "Oh my god." Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is
You
crazy.
know, remember years ago when we had more people in the chat and how everybody was getting upset because
Oh,
we
yeah.
were posting on the chat pictures and whatnot, or sending messages or being funny. Like that was my peeve. I'm like, that's the purpose of WhatsApp. This is the purpose why we created a chat. Because since we don't live together and we don't see each other on a daily basis, this is another great to communicate.
Yes,
But man, these cousins were butt hurt,
yes.
about
There was
that.
there was also the topic of the fact that sometimes when you're like, when people comment on or people post anything, sometimes you don't have anything to say about it, right? Like, if they post a
Mhm.
video, you
Mhm.
watch it, and if you think it's funny, you'll laugh at it, or you just don't
Mhm.
do anything. People are expecting you to respond. So when you don't respond to theirs, but somebody else does something and you respond to theirs, they were getting upset at that.
Mhm.
And
Oh
they're like,
yeah.
"I'm gonna stop posting." And you're like, "Oh my God, like it's not that serious."
It's not that serious. Okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's just that your video was
Uh
boring and I'm not gonna that's all
mhm.
it was. Yeah.
Usted
But
no
we have
vieron que yo puse.
see,
Oh, yes, we
they'll
did.
blast
Sí,
you
lo
out. They
vimos.
will blast you
Mhm.
out. Yep, yep. Have you ever had an incident? Because I know we have different chats, right? Everybody has different chats that they go to, but have you ever had an accidental incident where you send a message to the wrong chat involving someone within that chat?
Oh
Or
my
have you
God,
almost? Yeah. Do
recently.
tell, do tell, do tell.
Oh my God. Ooh, well, this one. This involves my cousin. I almost blew up his spot about
Mhm.
something, and then I thought I saved it because I did save it in the chat. And then when I go and inform him in our other chat, you know, some person was in that chat too that could have informed the original person on the other chat, and then he's like, you need to remove that from
Yeah,
that chat. Phew.
yeah,
See, this is why you shouldn't be,
yeah.
smoking weed and then
It's
jumping on WhatsApp because
and the thing is that we always we have to remember that while we have different chats,
Mhm.
it's hard to
Yeah.
remember that some people on this chat
Mhm.
could have connections with the one on the other chat. It's hard. Like, I've
Yep.
had that happen,
And
not necessarily where I've actually posted it, But where I've almost
Mhm.
posted it, or like in your case, thankfully the person doesn't always check it immediately. Like they don't always check it
Yeah.
immediately, so it gives you time to kind of remove. However, others do check it. So you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah. No, but nobody checked it. Nobody read it. Thank goodness. Yeah. So that so, we were cracking up. We were like, "Oh my god!" And I actually even sent the GIF or the GIF, however you pronounce it, of Daffy Duck melted going down the stairs, like like the sign of relief. Only because, yeah, I didn't want to blow up his spot.
What I will say is, what I do love about the cousins is that we know how to take a joke, and even
Oh
when,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
we say something out there, others might be like, "Yo, that's, like, insulting," and the cousins are like, "Nah, man, it's kinda funny," you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh
we know how to take a
yeah.
joke.
I'm always listen. I don't mind being a butthurt of any joke, and I usually am, so
Yeah,
so if you can't laugh or find the humor in this or find like, oh my God, what's going on? Or el bochinche, or just separate yourself and look at it as if this was another family and this is
yeah,
their bochinche, because other families are looking at our bochinche and maybe finding it relatable. Like, oh,
yeah.
see, but we do this too, in my chat. I wished my mom's side of the chat was this spicy, like my
That's just
dad's
me.
side.
Ain't
You
nobody
know,
ain't nobody's chat like ours. Ain't nobody's chat
mm-mm,
like ours.
it'd be spicy.
Yes,
But I do love when our families they bring up the past,
yeah, going
like
down
the
memory lane.
history. Memory lane, the house in Dominican Republic, La Bono, our
Mhm.
grandparents. The funny stories like happening with when they grew up with their cousins. Like there's this one story that my dad did share. I thought it was hysterical. Uh, Pertaining a primo that wasn't wiping his ass with toilet paper,
It's disgusting.
I'm sorry, what?
but with a stick in the backyard, in the yard, con un palo ahí, había un palo ahí. Entonces, cuando cagaba y se iba y se em, rajaba la nalga en ese palo.
Asco.
So I think what our grandmother did, just to find out who is doing that, who's wiping their ass on a stick in the backyard, she put hot pepper all over it.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, girl.
Do not say who the uncle was, but who was the uncle?
Eso fue mi papá.
Definitely taking that out of there.
Oh, no,
Look.
not him. He didn't do that. He shared the story
Oh, he
on who
shared the
did
story.
it.
Okay, okay, I'll leave that in then.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, yeah.
speaking of your
Yeah,
father, like, I was, like, mortified last week with when we were talking about, his story and how growing up and the chili story and all that, and I was like, "Why am I scared?" Remember I was telling you, I was like, "Why am I scared? I'm a grown ass woman. Why am I so scared of Uncle Mark?"
oh, he just texted me. He's on his way to Rhode Island.
Uh-oh.
De que pa
Uncle
hablar
Mark knows I
contigo.
love him. That's not Uncle Mark. I got a special in
And
my heart.
speaking of,
Mhm.
in comparison, I get it. He had to do what he had to do, and I was just reflecting about that. I was like, man,
Absolutely.
I'm blessed because my kid has cut class too, but not
Mhm.
like that. Like he's done dumb stuff, but
Mhm.
not my level of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I was just like, okay, yeah, I wasn't an easy kid, but I made it out, and
Yeah, could have been worse.
it could have been worse.
Listen, they were my brother says it all the time, that while he got beat down a lot by my dad,
Hmm.
like, he got disciplined a lot, he felt that because of that, he became the man he was because él era un niño travieso,
Yeah.
hence the name Chipirito, like, he was a very travieso
Hmm.
kid. So, he needed those spankings. I mean, I say it lightly spankings, but he got whooped. He got
I mean,
whooped.
you're talking about a toddler, because at one time when my parents were together, we used to live in 189th and Amsterdam, right across the street from the park, in the playground section.
Mhm.
What business does a toddler? Because I was a toddler then. We moved from that apartment when I was maybe 3, going on 4. That's when my parents, I guess, separated. But before that, I vividly remember crawling out from the window because we lived on the first
Oh my
floor
gosh.
and cross the street to the park. So
What?
oh yeah,
Was it
and my mother's heels and everything.
and that's where it all started.
And that's where it all started. Yeah,
Bree
so
sneaking out of the house at a toddler age.
ya yo era algo, ya yo era un caso serio. Tú
Tuve una
entiendes? So,
mira. See, so he knew what he was doing. That discipline was well deserved then.
mhm.
'Cause look at you now, girl. You're on a
Yeah,
podcast now talking about your stories. It's good that you can reflect on it now, right? That you're
I
alive to
know.
reflect on it.
My PhD is very in tune. So every time when my son used to cut class and then I was so in tune. I was so ready for that.
Yes.
And thank you for that person that, called me because I'm never gonna blow up that person, spot that called me that day when my son was playing hooky and in
Mhm.
my house, in my apartment. I left my job. I was on that bus, the M68 bus, like wishing it to go faster because boy, we got there in 15 minutes from 68th Street to 181st Street. We went on the West Side Highway, and I'm like, yes, let's go express, baby. I need to
Oh.
catch him. Caught him and his friends in my room. At first, they were all confused because I had my son when I was 15. So
Mhm.
they're in high school. I'm in my late 20s, I think, early, no, he was 14. Yeah, 29, 30, right? So they're looking at me confused, like, oh, she playing hooky with us? Oh, no, that's the mother.
Oh.
I,
Oh,
I
oh.
I almost busted out laughing because of their confusion. I saw it in their face, like, "Oh, she's one of us." Oh
'Cause you were
no!
young, yes.
Wait a minute, she looks young, but wait a minute. Oh, that other face. Oh, that's the mother.
Ah, it's good to remember. Mhm.
And then this 6'1", my kid 6'2", trying to blend in on the wall in the back of the bed, like ninja. I see you.
I think your son was I mean, I remember there's a picture of my dad carrying your son and my nephew, and the size of your son is like it was like I think he was, what, 8 months old? But he looked like he was freaking 5, like, he was this tall, huge kid,
Yeah,
and my
yeah.
dad's neck
It
was,
looks
like,
like the
hovered over, like, "Yo, hurry up with the picture, like, hurry up." Yeah.
it was like twins, Arnold
He was
Schwarzenegger
a
and
big
Danny
boy, and he
DeVito.
was a handsome big boy.
I think, yeah, he was my chunka
Yes.
monk. I think it was your mom because I remember that picture, and it may have been Wilson's
No, it
kid
wasn't my mom. My mom is
with
not
my
gonna carry
son.
your child on her neck. I have the picture. It was my dad carrying him on the neck
Oh, on the
on his
neck.
neck, like
There's
in his
one on the
shoulder type
neck.
of thing, yeah.
Oh, I need to see that
Yes,
one.
yes.
I think I remember
My
that
mom is not
day.
carrying your chunky monkey at that no way. She'll probably carry him like
No, but she does have one that she's sitting on the
you see?
couch, and he was on one of her lap,
Ah,
and the other
see,
baby was
see?
on the
Ah,
other
see,
one.
see?
Mhm.
Yeah, but, they say that it takes a village to raise a child, and literally growing up, that's how it was, like, we couldn't do anything because you know how you as you're walking, like, there was no cell phone at the time, but I swear they connected
Mhm.
somehow because it would just travel with you, the word of she's going somewhere, she's going here, she's turning left, she's turning right. So
Mhm.
my dad and my brother, they knew everything. My dad knew everybody, as did my brother, but all the neighbors and all the neighbors, neighbors and neighbors and neighbors and neighbors knew my dad. So anything my brother did, ay, pobrecito. Like they reported it back
Oh
to
my
my dad.
god, yeah.
And that's how it was pretty much.
Yeah, because he was the super of the building, you know?
Oh,
So obviously when it's like me, when I used to be the property manager, I knew all my neighbors. So
oh,
yeah,
but
as a
it went
super you
beyond neighbors.
have.
I also think that because my dad helped a
Yeah.
lot of people get like
Nice.
house like places to stay. It was always at our place. Like he always had people staying in our place. I also think people
Yeah.
just started getting to know him more. But I'm telling you, like, I mean, I would never cut class because of my fear of that, and also the fear of my brother finding out. I remember one time
Mm-mm.
I think it was I almost want to say maybe senior year. That's senior year. That's when you're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to do whatever, and it might be pardon. And I remember a couple of friends of mine wanting to go cut class to go on a ferry. And I was so petrified that I pretended that I remember telling one of my friends who was like my confidant, and I was like, "Oh my God, I don't want to go. I don't want to go." And she's like, "Well, then don't go." And I'm like, "Well, I don't want them to start talking trash. Like, so I'm gonna call my mom and I'm gonna pretend my brother's looking for me." And she's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And so we were at the station, and I went, "Let me just make." I told the girls, "I'm gonna call my house just to make sure my brother's not out, and then I'll go with you guys." And they're looking at me like bullshit, right? And I call my mom and I go, "Mami, yo te estoy llamando, pero sígueme la corriente porque las muchachas quieren que yo corte, but I don't want to cut class." I said, "Let's pretend that my brother's looking for me and I'm gonna act surprised, okay?" And she's like, "Okay, mommy." And all of a sudden I go, ¿Qué? Oh my God, he's looking for me. Oh my God, mommy, I'm gonna go home right
Ay,
now.
ay,
Okay,
ay.
okay, bye, bye. And then I turn to the girls and they're looking at me like, "Girl, you know damn well nobody's looking for you." right? But they let me go because I was that scared. I didn't cut class.
Gosh, I have so much stories. Yeah, I'm a
No, you're
different
a different
story.
story. You're a different person.
I'm a different
You're a
story.
different freaking
I
toddler
was an
escaping her
artistic
house. Who does that?
person. School was not for me.
Ah, ah, okay, okay. But yeah, but
But yeah, back to the chat. So we have a little bit of everything. We have some days we have straight novelas, like just slap it on slap a title on it, and and sell it to
for real.
Univision. You know, and then there's days that, like, I remember that one of the aunts said, is it possible
Yeah.
that it's been 2 days and no one said nothing? And then it's so funny that the coincidentally we were discussing
Hmm.
secretly about the podcast,
Hmm.
about the title Hablando Plepla. So then I posted on the chat the question, like, what does this mean to you? And I'm like, and I tag her. I said, Mira,
Yes.
I gave you a
Which I don't know
theme.
if she ever replied.
Let's
I
talk.
know DSC did, but I don't know if she did. But
Everybody else
yeah,
did. Yeah.
yeah. So one minute it's quiet, and then the
Yeah.
next minute it's like a tornado hit,
Rabble, rabble,
and then it
rabble,
goes.
rabble. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. But we enjoy it. Like I'm not gonna lie, it is entertaining,
Mm-hmm.
and we laugh behind the scenes. Like we're rolling at times. Like oh my god, like they have no
Like
filter,
they're
and they're
like
siblings.
I had to create a separate chat just for the cousins. Just for us.
Ya metiste la pata. Tú ves, loca, ya metiste la
Ay,
pata.
coño.
Now they know the truth.
Es más,
But listen,
borre eso.
no, yo no voy a borrar esa vaina, ya eso se queda ahí. No, olvídate, I'm gonna let the cousins handle you. Nope, y'all heard it from her, straight from Bree.
No,
She announced
no,
it.
yo no dije nada.
She announced it. But
Technical difficulties.
crack no bestie town.
No
Humble.
borro, no borro esa parte.
I'm keeping that. I'm sorry.
Damn
Listen,
it.
it's okay that we have our separate. Uncles have their separate
That's
chat too.
true. That is very true. But it's
It's
basically
fine.
discussing about the family house and everything. But
Yes, we're discussing family house too.
the, the the house chat, we're discussing it separately. I mean, well, some of them do know that we do have a separate chat. One of them was
Yes,
very concerned.
they
But
don't
you guys are
care.
talking about me. I was like, no,
We don't
yeah,
talk about you
but
guys
yeah,
at
no, we
all.
just talk about
We talk
when
about
it's hot. Mm.
yeah, them that's a different story. We like, yeah, did y'all just hear what
And
happened?
we're cracking up,
No,
and then that's what we do.
but that's out of respect,
Hmm.
right? We don't want to laugh at you in front of you. We got to do
We
it
got to do
behind you.
behind you, because it's
Exactly.
funny. But yeah, that's what we
Yes.
do. So eventually, then we're gonna be them, and then our kids are gonna probably laugh at us. Look at these two going off.
Yeah. Yeah. Because no lie, but the chat started off with uncles and a couple of the nephews and nieces,
Hmm.
and it's expanded to the cousins' kids now.
Yes.
So we have, right? We have what do you
Melody, I
call them?
think,
Like
is
first and
the
second
only
cousins?
cousin's kid.
No, we have other of our cousins' kids in the chat too.
We do. I thought. Mm.
Yes. Riquito. Riquito has his kids in there. He has, I believe, one. His daughter is
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
that's right. Oh, now we need to add
Hmm.
Jonathan then. At least the oldest ones, like
Um,
Jonathan, and then Vicky.
yeah.
Like the oldest. Well, he's my one and done, but.
Bam
Hmm.
bam. Thank you,
But
ma'am.
and it's so cute how
Yeah.
Melody is like our cousin's kid, but then she's our age.
No, yeah. Melanie's like
Yeah,
Melanie's so cute. Can I? Okay, I'm gonna say this story because it's okay to say it, but can I just say, I've never smoked, never done anything like that. But can I just admit, Melanie, my cousin, was the one who allowed me to taste
Melody.
a gummy for the first time during a family reunion. Do you remember that?
Oh, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that
Oh,
later.
okay,
I want to
okay.
talk about
We'll
that in
come back
another
to that next
episode.
week. Next
I
week, we're gonna
I
talk about
definitely
how
do.
Mooch had her first bird
Yes.
tube gummies and how butt wild she got and almost died. Nope, nope, no, do that now because then we're gonna say it here. Everybody gonna
And then
stay
here
tuned.
it
Next week,
comes.
I'm gonna discuss how my cousin Mel
That's the
introduced me to my first gummy, and apparently she thought I was a pro at it. Silly girl, silly,
hmm
silly, silly. But yeah.
And now here you are scrunging in people's purse looking for gummy.
No longer, I will say, no, no, not anymore. That really did it for me, but we'll discuss that next week. Yes,
All
but
right, all
as
right.
promised, mi gente,
Mm-hmm.
I want to introduce you to our segment on Tetero con Pamper, which is Brie and I's inner childhood self. Please enjoy it. Here it
Yes.
is.
Huepa, mi gente. Bienvenidos a Teteo con Pampers, el único podcast donde el drama es real y el tete es sagrado. Bienvenido a nuestro primer capítulo. Yo soy Brie y la que gateaba como si estuvieran en Fórmula One.
Y yo soy Muchi, la que se roba el tete ajeno y después dice, ¿cuál tete?
Loca, hoy tenemos que hablar de algo serio, la traición de los adultos.
Otra vez te cambiaron el pañal sin avisarte.
Peor, me dijeron, vamos para allá, fuera a coger aire. Y fue para la vacuna, bro. La vacuna. Como eso dolió.
¡Diablo! Eso duele más que pisar un Lego descalzo. Un minuto de silencio para los bebés que creyeron en el paseo.
Y encima me cambiaron la compota. ¿Tú te puedes creer esa vaina? Me dieron dique habichuela, pelado, sin arroz, sin nada.
¿Qué? Eso no es compota, eso es castigo. Dame guinea o dame la muerte.
¿Y tú? ¿Qué hiciste esta semana?
Yo le tiré un pamper usado al gato y ahora él me respeta.
Líder, esa es la energía. Pampers con propósito.
Antes de irnos, el consejo del día. Si alguien te dice, vamos a ver dibujitos, asegúrate que no sea una trampa para cortarte las uñas.
Saxio. ¿Eso es terrorismo infantil? Gracias por sintonizarte con nosotras. Nos vemos en el próximo episodio de Teteo con Pampers.
Con flow sin filtro y con pañal puesto. ¡Arriba! Woo! Hope you enjoyed that episode of Teteo con Pamper. Join us next week when we will be entrevistando a very special guest. You may know him as many things, but he prefers to be called Dr. Hannibal Lecter. En el próximo episodio de Teteo con Pamper.
Gracias por sintonizarte con nosotras. I hope you enjoyed our chit chat, our jibber jabber, our pleplas.
Yes.
And I hope you, you leave us comments, likes, share our posts. We'll, expose us. Expose us.
Brie, it's always a pleasure, mi amor, doing this with you.
Mhm. Same here, Mooch. I love our chemistry. It's always fun. Thank you so much for including me in this endeavor. And let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling.
Absolutely. Hasta la próxima. Oh, wait, we forgot. Mi gente, don't forget. Next week, we have the privilege of being able to celebrate the Dominican Mother's Day. So we will have
Mhm.
a special show. You cannot miss it because we're going to have special guests here with us.
Yes.
Yes. Miss it, para las Madres Dominicanas, la semana que viene, el programa va a ser dedicado a ustedes. Y tenemos invitadas especiales.
Well, have a great day. Have a great day and you enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, lo que sea. Pero que sea bien. Con salud y amor adelante.
Adios, mi gente. Much love.
Bye bye.
Don't forget to comment below.
Don't forget to comment below. Oops.